What's up everyone? Alexander here, and after unboxing the Nothing Phone 4a Pro, I've been using it as my daily driver for the past days. Today it's time for my honest real-world test. We'll talk performance, cameras, battery life, gaming, that crazy 140 times zoom, and of course what I actually like and don't like about this phone. In part 1, we unboxed the Nothing Phone 4a Pro, checked all the box contents, and took a closer look at the design and glyph matrix. In part 2, we're going deeper. How fast is the Snapdragon 7 Gen 4? How good is that 50 megapixel camera system with 3.5 times periscope zoom? And does the big battery with 50-watt charging really last a full day? If you're thinking about buying this phone, this video should make your decision a lot easier. So let's start with the thing you notice every time you pick it up: design and feel. The 4a Pro is Nothing's first all-metal phone, with an aircraft-grade aluminum unibody, aluminum frame and back, and Gorilla Glass 7i on the front. At around 210 grams and 8 millimeters thick, it has some weight, but it feels like a proper premium device, not a cheap mid-ranger. In daily use, I really like how solid it feels. There's zero creaking, the buttons are clicky, and the IP65 rating means dust-tight and protected against heavy rain or low-pressure water jets. So you're fine using it outside in bad weather, even if it's not a full underwater IP68 phone. And then there's the glyph matrix. In real life, it's brighter than older models and has more individual LEDs, 137 mini LEDs across the back, which means more detailed patterns for notifications, charging, or even a little pixel-style progress bar when a timer is running. It's still a fun, very nothing touch, and honestly, it makes the phone instantly recognizable. Moving to the front, the display is one of the highlights of the 4a Pro. We're looking at a 6.83-inch AMOLED 1260 by 2800 resolution, 144 Hz refresh rate, HDR 10+ support, and up to 5000 nits peak brightness, with around 1600 nits in outdoor boost. Translated to real-world use, it's sharp, text and icons look clean. At 144 Hz, scrolling through social feeds or the UI feels super smooth, and the phone can drop the refresh rate automatically to save battery when nothing is moving. Outdoors, with auto brightness on, I had no problem reading the screen in direct sun. Tests show around 1550 nits continuous brightness, which is more than enough. For media, colors lean slightly towards a natural look out of the box, but you can push them more vivid in settings. HDR content on YouTube and streaming apps looks great. The deep blacks of AMOLED plus that high peak brightness really help. Under the hood, this phone is powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 7 Gen 4, paired with 8 or 12 GB of LPDDR5X RAM and UFS 3.1 storage up to 256 GB. Benchmarks put it in the upper mid-range, with community tests showing Antutu scores around or above 1 million, which is a solid bump over the previous 3a Pro generation. In everyday use, the phone feels fast. App launches are snappy. Multitasking between social media, camera, and Chrome is smooth. Animations in Nothing OS 4.1 are polished and fluid, partly thanks to new interpolation and frame tuning that Nothing added in this version. For gaming, the Snapdragon 7 Gen 4 can handle heavy titles at medium to high settings without major frame drops, and reviewers have noted that the chip stays relatively cool, so no crazy thermal throttling after a few minutes. So if you're a casual or even semi-serious mobile gamer, the 4a Pro will keep up as long as you're not expecting top-end flagship frame rates at max settings in every game. On the software side, you're getting Android 16 with Nothing OS 4.1. The vibe is very clean and minimal. Monochrome icon options, dot matrix fonts, and around 19 custom widgets for things like weather, clocks, and context that match the Nothing aesthetic. New in 4.1 are things like more flexible widget and icon sizing, a revamped lock screen with widget support and depth effects, hidden apps in the smart drawer, private space with password recovery. Nothing promises about 3 major OS updates for this phone, not as long as some Samsung or Google devices, but still decent for a mid-range device. Overall, if you like a near-stock Android feel with a bit of personality on top, Nothing OS is genuinely nice to use. Now let's get into the cameras, because that's one of the biggest selling points. On the back, you get a triple setup, 50 megapixel main camera with a Sony LYT 700C sensor, optical image stabilization and dual pixel autofocus 50 megapixel periscope telephoto with 3.5 times optical zoom and up to 140 times digital zoom, 8 megapixel ultra wide for landscape and group shots. On the front, there's a 32 megapixel selfie camera with a slightly wider 89-degree field of view than older Nothing phones, so you can fit more people into a shot. In good light, the main camera delivers sharp images with natural colors, not super oversaturated, but still punchy enough for social media. Dynamic range is strong. You can see detail in both bright skies and darker areas in the same shot. The periscope telephoto is genuinely impressive for this price class. Up to about 3.5 times to 5 times zoom, photos look very clean and detailed thanks to true optical zoom and OIS. Beyond that, digital zoom takes over. You can go up to 140 times for fun, but it's more of a party trick. Quality drops as expected with any digital zoom. The ultra-wide is usable for daytime shots and architecture, but it's clearly the weakest camera. Less detail and more noise, especially when light drops. In low light, the main camera with night mode can pull decent shots with good color and sharpness, though you'll see some noise. It's not on flagship level, but it's definitely competitive with other mid-range phones. OIS helps keep things stable for handheld night photos. Battery life has been a pleasant surprise. The 4A Pro ships with around a 5,000 to 5,400 mAh battery depending on region. Global models are about 5,080 mAh, while markets like India list 5,400 mAh. In mixed real-world use, some YouTube, social media, camera, messaging, and a bit of gaming, most reviewers are easily getting a full day to a day and a half on a single charge. Charging is rated at 50 watts over USB-C power delivery. In independent tests, using a compatible PPS charger, the phone goes from 0 to about 90% in roughly 40 to 45 minutes and reaches 100% in about an hour. There's still no wireless charging, which is one of the trade-offs to keep the body slim and the price lower. If you're used to dropping your phone on a MagSafe pad, you might miss that, but if you mostly plug in with a cable anyway, 50-watt wired charging is fast enough. So after using the Nothing Phone 4A Pro for a while, here's how I'd position it. What I really like: premium aluminum unibody and unique design. It feels and looks more expensive than most mid-ranges. Excellent AMOLED display with 144Hz and very high peak brightness. Great for outdoor use and media. Versatile camera system with real 3.5 times optical periscope zoom and a strong main sensor. Solid Snapdragon 7 Gen 4 performance and good thermals for daily use and gaming. Big battery with reasonably fast 50-watt charging and good real-world endurance. What I'm not a huge fan of: ultra-wide camera is just okay, especially in low light. Problems taking good pictures at night. No wireless charging. Software support is only 3 major Android updates, while some competitors offer more. If you want a phone that looks like a flagship, feels premium, has a great screen and a fun camera system with real zoom, but you don't want to pay flagship prices, the 4A Pro is genuinely one of the most interesting mid-range options right now. If you want to see this phone compared directly to something like the Pixel 10a or a Samsung A series device, tell me in the comments which matchup you want. If this video helped you out, hit like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.